Hello students, Standard 8. Revision of CHAP-3 in Chemistry. Synthetic fibers and plastics. In last few sessions we discussed about the synthetic fibers. Different type of synthetic fibers, why they are widely used, what objects, what articles are made from it, that we already learned. Revised. Now today we will revise about the plastics. We know that in our daily life, so many objects that we use are made from plastic. For example, this marker in my hand, the mobile cover, and some bottles, your water bottle, your compass box, your lunch box maybe, your ball pen. If you make a list, it will be a very, very long list, and still some objects will be not there. Widely we are using the plastic. Why? That we are going to learn. You know that same like the polythene, the synthetic fibers, plastic is also a polymer. So plastic is a polymer. Now in the all plastics, the arrangement of the unit is not the same. There can be two type of arrangement found in different type of plastics. In some of them you find the linear links. Linear means in the same line, but there should be a cross linked also. So name the types of arrangement of units found in plastic that are the linear and the cross linked as shown in this figure. The first is the linear, and the downward, that is the cross linked also. So two types of arrangement are linked. Now plastics, you can see that they are available in different sizes, different colors, different shapes, etc. So how is it possible, and why therefore it is very, very popular around? So plastic is the easily molded. It means that it can be shaped in any form very simply. Plastic can be recycled, plastic can be reused, it can be colored, it can be melted, rolled into sheets, or made wires, etc., etc. So because of these so much varieties, therefore plastic is used in a variety, because it has so many advantages. It can be molded easily, so different shapes. You can see the chair and the other plastic materials are of different shape. Your bottles, your container to store the grains and the food items, etc. They are of different shapes, different size, different color, and therefore they are widely used in a variety of collections. Plastic bucket, plastic toys, etc. So now we have to understand about the different type of plastics. Generally, the plastics are divided into two main types of plastic, that are the thermoplastics and thermosetting plastic. Suppose you see that if you take a plastic bottle and add hot water, then what will happen? It gets deformed. Right? Means on heating, some of the plastic can deform very easily and it can be bent easily. So that types of plastic are known as thermoplastics. It means that thermoplastic are those which deforms when they are given heat and they can be bent easily and mold in any desired shape. So that type of plastic is known as thermoplastic. Polythene and PVC. PVC means polyvinyl chloride. These two are the main examples of the thermoplastics and they are used in manufacturing of the toys, the comb, the different type of containers, the wires, coating of the wires, etc. So it is used in the electrical switches also. No, that you will see differently. But here you will see that the manufacturing toys, combs and so many types of container that we use to store the different items, different chemicals, different grocery items, etc. That are all the examples of thermoplastic. The PVC pipe, the raincoat made by the PVC, that are also the examples of thermoplastic. So what are thermoplastic? The thermoplastic are those which when heated they are getting soft and it can be bent and can be shaped in any shape. It can be molded in any shape. So that are the thermoplastic. And as I told you, two main examples are polythene and PVC. But some of the plastic are such that they are heat resistant. It means that when you give heat, they does not get soft. They cannot bend. It means that once they are molded, then on heating also, they are not getting soft. They are not softened by heating. So that type of plastic are known as thermosetting plastic. It means that once it is set, when it is already molded, then if you give heat also, they will not get soft. And therefore, they are used to make the switches, to make the crockeries, like the dinner set, etc. You see the dinner set, we are using the hot soup or hot our food items. So it does not get soft. So like melamine and Teflon, bakelite, etc. are the examples of thermosetting plastic. The switches, switchboards, they are made up from the bakelite. Why? Because sometimes the heat is there and they are not getting soft on heating. Therefore, they are used in this electrical appliances like switches, plugs, etc. So, there is the bakelite. Teflon. Teflon is used in the cooking materials as a base because it does not stick and therefore the food is not getting burned easily, and without, by using less oil also you can cook it properly. So Teflon and the others are melamine. Melamine is a very versatile material. It resists fire and can tolerate heat better than other plastic. So here the question is other also there, that write some uses of plastic based on its poor conductivity of heat and electricity. Because it is poor conductor, it is used in the melamine like for the dinner set and handles of the various utensils. You know that our cooking utensils are generally made up of metals which are good conductor of heat, but the handles are made either from the ebonite or other type of plastics, bakelite, because they are the poor conductor of heat. So doesn't matter the pot is very hot, but the handles will be not that much hot. They are poor conductor of heat, and therefore we can easily take them from the stove when they are hot. Similarly, the thermoplast setting plastic like bakelite is used to make the switches because they are poor conductor. Otherwise, we can get shocked when working with the electricity. So therefore, the plugs, switches and all other items which are related to the electricity, they are similarly the coating of the wire is also made, so that is all because they are poor conductors of heat and electricity. So some are known as melamine is also used to make the fireproof tiles also, because when the fire is there they will not get melted, they will not get burnt, and so they are used in some other example like that. So now as we see that there are two type of plastics, thermoplastics and thermostatic plastics. Now why is it convenient to store food in plastic containers than metals? You know that the metallic containers are heavy in weight, but in comparison to it, the plastic containers are light in weight. So first advantage is that they are very light in the weight. Second thing, price. Metallic containers are expensive comparison to the price of the plastic container, so they are cheaper also. Second thing, good strength, easy handling, etc. And therefore, the people are choosing plastic in place of the metallic container to store the food item, water, milk, pickles, dry fruit, etc. Similarly, because they are very light in the weight and therefore they are used in the place of metals in cars, aircrafts and spacecrafts also. Because of it, the weight of that vehicles will be less, and it is necessary in the air especially. So when you make the list, it will be a very big list, as I told you. You use the articles in the slippers also, in the furniture also. So many furnitures are available in plastic. The dining set, dining table, chairs, writing table and so many other objects we are using that are made from the plastics. Other thing is plastic is non-reactive. Generally it does not react with acid, base or water or the gases, and therefore they are used in the chemical industries also. So also they are not getting corroded easily also, and therefore the chemicals are also can be stored in the plastic container. So they are using that also. And as we saw that nowadays we are using plastic buckets for bathing or carrying the water. But ask your grandparents that what type of buckets they were using to bring the water. They will tell you the metal, aluminium or the iron buckets were used. And they are themselves heavy. And if you fill the water, they are more heavy. So it is very difficult to carry them for a distance. But if you use the plastic material, plastic buckets, plastic container, then it is lightweight, so you will not feel that much heavy. And therefore, also as I told you that they are cheaper, they can be used in different shape, different size, and therefore we are widely used in the industry and for the household industries also. Similarly, in the plastic, as we saw that in the medical industry, means healthcare industry, right? The uses of plastic in healthcare industry. We know that in the nowadays we use the packaging of the tablets, threads used for stitching the wounds when you are having injury, wound, and wound is open. Then sometimes you have to take the stitches. The doctor will take the stitches. The thread that is used for stitching is also made up of some plastic materials. Similarly, the packaging of the tablets are also using the plastic. Some nowadays you know that the syringes and the needles are disposable, means use and throw. That use and throw syringes and the needles are also made from the plastic. Similarly, doctors are using the gloves and so many other medical instruments. They are also made from the plastic. So, in the healthcare industry also, variety of articles are made from the plastic. So, that are the plastics very useful in the different type of industries. Write some uses of plastic based on, we already talked about it. Now, biodegradable and non-biodegradable material. Before we go on that, let me remind you that the clothes of the firemen means those people who are working with the fire extinguisher when there is a fire. So those people have to come in contact with the fire, and therefore their dresses, their clothes are such that they cannot catch fire easily. If they use the synthetic fibers, then what will happen? They can catch the fire easily. And therefore, their uniforms of the firemen have coating of melamine. Because melamine is a heat resistant, fire resistant. It cannot catch fire at the high temperature also. And therefore, their uniform is coated with the melamine plastic so that it is the flame resistant. It cannot catch the fire and they can be survived. Now, let's talk about the biodegradable and non-biodegradable material. Now, when we go to the market, right, so many things that you purchase are either wrapped in the plastic or they are putting in the plastic and then you bring them home. Sometimes they are using paper bags also, sometimes they are using polythene bags also, etc. Now, the reason is that why we use plastic, because we know that it is very easy, but disposable of plastic is a very major problem, because plastic is non-biodegradable. Now let us understand what is biodegradable. Biodegradable material means that material that get completely decomposed through the natural processes, like action of the bacteria, etc. For example, the food materials. Food materials, when you keep it for a few days, then the bacteria will decompose them and then you will not be able to see them. So, those are the biodegradable material. But some of the materials are such that they cannot be degradable, they cannot be decomposed by the natural processes. And therefore, action of bacteria is also not possible on them. So they are known as non-biodegradable material. So what is biodegradable material? Which can get decomposed through natural processes like action by the bacteria, that are known as biodegradable. For example, all the food items. But the material which is not easily decomposed by natural process is termed as non-biodegradable. In the table 3.3 you can see that there is some materials, the time of the degenerate means decomposition, and are they biodegradable or non-biodegradable? It is given. First is the all food materials like peels of vegetables, fruits, leftover food, etc. They are biodegradable. Paper is also biodegradable. Cotton cloth is biodegradable. Wool is biodegradable. Woolen clothes are biodegradable. But some metals, most of the metals and the plastic bags, they are non-biodegradable. So now that are the disadvantages, that the plastic is non-biodegradable and therefore the disposable of it is a very big problem. And therefore we, as a responsible citizen, what measure do you suggest towards using the plastic? Now for the plastic we have to, like as a citizen, responsible as a citizen, we have to minimize the use of plastic. Similarly, when we go to the market, rather take the cloth bags which are made from the clothing materials, so that you can use it. Or if you take the plastic materials, plastic bags, then don't throw away when you come back. Keep them so that you can use them again and again, so that you don't bring them, because as you dispose it, the disposable is a very big problem, and therefore you should do that. Now last, what is 5R principle? 5R principle is that you can use the different garbages or the disposable items as a 5R principle. 5R means reduce, refuse, reuse, repurpose and recycle. Refuse means you said no to plastic. Reduce means use, minimize. Reduce, then reuse means you can use again and again. Repurpose, for example, repurpose, suppose your plastic container is broken, its lid is broken, then you can use it to plant some small plants, to grow the plants. So that is repurpose, and you know about the recycle also. So that is the 5R principle. So here we are going to finish the session. Almost all the questions in the assignment are discussed. So you will write down on your own. Thank you very much.